Now, there's only one place to catch the most entertainment stories of the week, and that's, of course, right here on Pop Kasa. Welcome to the show. Now, we have a lineup from across African continent that will entertain you. Now, here's a look at what to expect. Now, Ghanaian rapper Medikal has spoken up about the trauma he experienced following his recent arrest. Now, after recent calls for the cancellation of his show, Congolese musician Koffi Olomide has been charged to jail in France, and over 600 Kenyans were tricked into sharing personal details by someone impersonating a celebrity online. Now, on the international scene, examiners have revealed the cause of death of victims at the ASTROWORLD festival. And of course, there's an itch. Now, this one tackles our obsession with posting incidents on social media rather than helping. Now, this, of course, is Pop Kasa. My name is Sammdandy, and we're going to be back after this break. Now, of course, you know Pop Kasa has the most controversial shows, but unlike usual, we're about to start in Ghana. Now, where award-winning rapper Medikal has disclosed that he's experiencing trauma after his arrest and remand in police custody. Now, the Ghanaian rapper was picked up on the 21st of October for brandishing a weapon on social media and later released on bail. Now, despite gaining his freedom, Medikal says that the experience left him traumatized for a while. He said, and I quote, "I didn't know it was an offense or crime. I thought brandishing was when you are in public, but not when you are in a car and you post on Snapchat. But now I have learned from it." Now, he spoke about this trauma when he was addressing why he unfollowed a lot of people on his social media account after his release. Now, he said, "I unfollowed a lot of people because I didn't want to see some things on social media and I was traumatized." Now, of course, the crew is here. My big question is, where do you think this trauma is coming from? Being arrested or the embarrassment he's faced as a celebrity? Both of them. I feel like I have to introduce you guys. Of course, Seun Bankole of the Trends, and Amal Kash, of course. How are you guys doing? Amal, what's that? What's in your throat, girl?
Are you well?
All right, so the story is
so there's the trauma of getting arrested, and then there's the trauma of embarrassment. I think both.
But I think it's more of getting arrested because there's something that does to you. I know you're actually right, because the embarrassment that comes with it.
Yes.
You relieve it every day. You're always scared.
And the effects that's on your career, and then.
No, but for musicians, it's bragging rights.
That you arrested.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So you guys are admitting that it's both the fact that, of course, this is a crime that he faced and the fact that he's a celebrity.
Yes, I think that's what affected him.
Interesting. So now, while he says he didn't know brandishing a weapon in a car, was a problem, what do you think about that?
It's very ignorant.
Right.
Because you can't, if you have a big following, you can't. People look up to you.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, it can become in the TikTok lives. You can become that.
Mm-hmm.
It can become a trend. Everyone put out their guns.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very ignorant of him, I think.
Right. You're saying that, of course, that this is something that we look up to these people for. We look up to them as celebrities, and so they're liable, they're responsible in some form.
For their actions, more than normal people.
I'm about to have that conversation about the fact that they're human beings too, and if he wasn't well informed,
no.
to know about these things, then
you are an influencer. You have people looking up to you. You are a father figure. What do they call that? No, not father figure. You're a public figure, so you
not that deep.
No, not that deep. But so you should know the right things to do.
But even as a person, have you felt the urge to be in a car like?
Right.
I mean, I've probably never seen a weapon before. That's extreme.
Oh, you've not even seen?
No. Why?
That's why you're talking like this.
Why is it
That's why you're calm. Yes, and then you're close to it. It's really scary. So.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that he's learned his lessons. Unfortunate that he's feeling, the trauma behind it. But yeah, we do hope that, people can learn from this, and please keep weapons, out of sight. Out of sight. But let's move to that. Now, this one happens to have gotten my attention. A popular Congolese singer, Koffi Olomide, has been sentenced to 18 months in prison by a court in France. Now, the veteran singer was sentenced to a jail for holding 4 women, now his former dancers, against their will. Now, a few weeks ago, fans called for the cancellation of his show because of his history of violence against women. Now, in 2019, we know that the music star was found guilty of sexual assault and kidnapping of his dancers in 2002 and 2006 at the singer's home. Now, he was ordered to pay about 1.2 million shillings, which is about $10,000 each, to the 3 women in question. However, it was cleared of the rape charge levied against him. Now, the court cleared him of the rape allegations because of the conflicting evidence presented at that time. Now, the music star was also reportedly deported from Kenya in 2016 after he was caught on camera assaulting a young lady. Now, he's not a first-time offender, clearly. 2002 and 2006, they all say this. And, now we're seeing that he's being charged in 2019. How is he still popular? This is the height of cancel culture, but he hasn't been canceled. How much power does this guy have?
First of all, what is it with music artists and rape?
Hey,
Yes.
Hey.
Okay, not all of them.
Of course not.
R. Kelly,
Hey.
a few months ago, was sentenced. Koffi, our Makusa Lord, Abba.
But if R. Kelly can be sentenced, he should.
Who is he, Abby? They can send him in.
But
So even if he's an African artist, away.
do you feel like as Africans we're a little too attached to their music, and maybe sometimes we look up
The
to them and it's
emotions
hard to
are
cancel?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I think it's because we are Africans and
And mostly the people who make these judgments in court are fans.
right.
You know
They are
Yes.
the same persons that cancel.
So, no, the judges, the lawyers, are fans of Koffi Olomide. So before they
my
do that boom, boom, they have probably been listening to him in the car. So,
Now,
that's the only way he has survived.
so let's move away from fans. Now, the big question is, do you think that the sentence was, is good enough? The justice has been served, 18 months for holding women against their will.
No, I don't. I like him. I love him. He's African and all those emotions and sentiments. But
Right.
no. This is
So what do
18
you think would have been a better?
But
5
yeah,
years
like,
minimum.
you are kind. What's wrong with life imprisonment?
Chill.
Sorry, dear.
Life in prison?
I'm just saying now. We all of us
Is
are
that how
always
you want to
against
make
all this.
heaven?
And we make heaven regardless.
Yeah.
We're always fighting against women, violence. I think we should start teaching lessons with these people
Right.
at the top.
I mean,
Thanks.
5 years and then.
And then what? Community,
Community,
work?
I feel like that's the trauma for celebrities sometimes. Community service. If you see someone that you look up to and respect,
bragging rights, like she
sweeping
said
at
earlier.
Oshodi, for example,
It's
I mean,
bragging
I'm
rights.
sure.
I mean, look
bragging
at
rights, yeah.
Bobby Shmurda, all these rappers
Yeah.
abroad. It's bragging rights.
bragging rights.
And when the jailer came out, who hasn't been to jail? So it's just that jails are different because going to jail in Nigeria.
It's different from going to jail outside Nigeria.
Oh my
One
goodness.
will give
Maybe
you
that's
food.
the trauma, these
One will
people
give you,
face.
one you'll be fatter,
Another
or
one.
fresher.
This is not the conversation we should be laughing about, especially
Yes,
because you're women.
Serious.
You're women.
Life imprisonment.
Life
That one is
imprisonment.
worse. So
Okay, 20 years.
20 years.
5 years is short.
I'm done with both of
20
you.
years.
But really, if
We've agreed.
so, as a woman in that place, let me
Right.
be more emotional. As a woman in that place, how would you feel? How can you get over such an experience?
That's the problem. That's why it should not even come out. I beg. You're not going to go to an experience and then you are giving him what is 18 months? 18 months kekere begging. That one small baby will not even be crawling yet.
You know what I think, as a woman, like I said, this happens a lot in different industries where men in higher positions feel like they have a right over your body. So it happens a lot and people don't get justice. So I'm glad that at least
An example has been made of him.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry is going to
I mean,
face.
we've heard from women
Yes,
out there, and
yeah.
I do think that it's a conversation that we should stop having, because why are women still put in this place? This just shows that we need to respect more as women and more as a society.
Yes.
But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we still have one more African story, and of course, it's international. And this is Pop Kasa. I'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the show. Of course, thank goodness you didn't go anywhere. Now, like I promised, we do have one more African story. Now, this week, a Twitter user who claimed to be musician NYASHINSKI published a tweet asking Kenyans to submit their numbers for monetary reward. Now, hundreds of Kenyans could not resist the urge to share their contact without even verifying the authenticity of course, the information that was being put out. Now, by the end of the night, over 600 people had fallen prey to the fake account, all expecting to be the lucky one who would receive a token from the artist. However, the real NYASHINSKI announced that the account was fake. Now, the imposter took advantage of the fact that NYASHINSKI is rarely on social media. Now, cases of course, identity theft in Kenya have been rampant and affect many celebrities. Identity theft happens when someone impersonates you and utilizes your personal identification information to conduct fraud or earn other financial gains. Now, I'm wondering, first question, why do people still fall for these things?
Is it literacy
I think it's
or gullibility?
no, it's poverty.
Wow, girl.
Everything.
No, but it is. It is. When you're desperate and you need that 2K,
Or
and
jealousy.
someone says,
I feel you.
"Give me your contact," even me, 080.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, what do you call your number on TV?
That makes sense because it means that, of course, at that point in time, you don't care if it's a real celebrity,
Yeah.
you don't care if it's David or
And
not.
then this is
Let me put it.
December. Everybody needs money for turn up. Seasons urgent 2K. I think that's why they are
Like your family, your wife needs hair, your child
But
needs
beyond that, I
clothes.
think these social media platforms need to provide a sort of platform where people can know
Verify.
who is who or not.
It's not possible because if you see him and the look alike, they really
Of
look
course,
alike.
they use your pictures. I'm saying, how do your fans even know that this is a
This is
real
your
you?
actual
Beyond
account.
verification.
Social media has done the most. We have blue chicks. You can
See,
tell.
I think anybody that falls for this thing in 2021, I beg you wanted it.
Sapa has not touched you.
So I like the fact that you guys, I like the fact that you mentioned blue ticks. Now, what other ways can you identify, okay, this is a celebrity's account or this is a fake?
Blue tick number
Because
one.
have you seen, you know, some people's fan accounts have a lot of following too.
Yeah.
Secondly,
And-
like Whiskey FC,
Like-
they have lots of accounts, lots of following. I think secondly, celebrities wouldn't almost never ask for money. So you should not ever.
Are you
You should
calling
not-
Davido mad?
No, that was 1 million. It's not that type of money.
Guys, what happens in the case that the celebrity is not even verified?
How would they not know?
Yeah.
That one is between you and your God, because you should know. For real now, for real, I think people should know better than falling prey. And then if it's a celebrity that is saying, just confirm or you tell someone about it. Because aside social media, there is a case of bank people calling you and asking for your BVN,
BVN,
or
those
card
information,
number.
yeah.
But in
And people still
2021,
fall.
if you're giving out your BVN, they use smoke coke.
My dear sister, people still give out their
You know,
BVN.
so let me ask, do you guys think there's something that social media or the platforms need to do, particularly in this
They
area?
did blue ticks. What more do they need to do?
Hold on. There could be something.
celebrities
You know,
want to
I would have thought that this approach, what I've noticed, would have been a way to solve the problem. Remember that on especially Instagram, you can see the genre of like whatever services you're providing.
Yes.
You can see public figures.
Yes,
You can see
journalists,
entertainer. You can see journalists.
actor.
So why can't they always verify and say celebrity or public journalist and making it?
The
But
real
you
me.
see,
This is what.
I can also do
Official
that.
me.
Because those things are actually, that's what I'm saying. So those
Yes.
things were
That's
not verified
decided
by
by
the
you.
platform. Yes.
Not
But
by
imagine that
Instagram.
they were actually verifying those things.
How about Instagram makes only celebrities be able to put that thing in their category? How will they now know it's
Thank God I'm
Am
blonde.
I a celebrity? Are you a celebrity?
Thank God I'm blonde. 'Cause
So who
Are you
decides
blonde?
what is what?
Blonde!
categories obio.
Guys, we're going to move on from this one. Of course, we hope that people stop falling for these things.
Yes.
But now let's go to the international scene, right? Now, the cause of death for 10 people who lost their lives in a massive crowd surge at ASTROWORLD Music Festival have been revealed. Examiners have revealed that the deceased died from compression asphyxia at the annual music festival run by American rapper Travis Scott. Now, about 50,000 people were in attendance. Now, the youngest victim was 9-year-old Ezra Blount. Now, the others who died were ranged between the age of 14 to 27. Now, medical examiners said contributing factors in one man was cocaine, methamphetamine, I need to pronounce that properly, methamphetamine, of course, and ethanol. Now, some 300 people were injured and treated at the festival site, and 25 others were taken to the hospital. Now, medical examiners with the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences in Houston had to wait, of course, for several weeks to determine the cause and manner of death. Now, Scott's attorney had reached out to the families of the 10 who died, offering to pay for their loved ones' funeral costs, several families of which turned down the offer. Now, this is a big conversation. We've talked about this a couple of times, and now many say that Scott has a history of stirring up these kind of incidents. You know, Amma, what does that
Like,
mean?
just look behind you.
I mean, it's the nature of his music.
I mean, he's always very excited and, you know, at his concert. So it might make his fans feel like that's okay to do. That's
Right.
what I say with Medikal. When you do something, your fans want to do it too. When you come on stage and it looks like you want to fight, the crowd wants to fight. You get so. This was just an incident waiting to happen,
Right. What do
and
you
it's
think?
sad that people died.
I think you should not be violent. Like we said earlier, you are a public figure. You are a natural influencer. By default, people look up to you. It's like what our daddy Bona would do. Sorry, Bona, because we have to call his name in caps.
Stop it.
So do you understand? Because you have a lot of people looking up to you. So what you do seems normal to them. So really, that's my take on this one.
But you know, it's funny that you were saying he's violent on stage. Now, Travis is, of course, his music is strong, right?
Strong. I like the fact
I'm
that
just
I
gonna say
used strong.
You know, but then we all see concerts where people have these gestures and they're jumping on stage. It's like the regular
Energy.
performance. Yes. It's
No,
almost
but like-
like giving people the show.
When Drake does it, Drake comes out with
Drake sings.
Hotline Bling.
Drake.
But then we have, so his music is good for gym. You're just gonna fight with.
So we should, no, not
Is it enough
Like,
for, stop it,
rest-
both of you stop it.
rest-
Is it enough for him to actually offer to pay for their funeral?
But he declined all the lawsuits. He's requesting them to drop lawsuits,
I mean,
which is very insensitive from him.
I don't think.
And I'm
he
not
does-
saying
he
because he
doesn't-
has money.
want to go to court.
But he has to pay something to the
Right.
families.
He's
right.
already sponsoring the funeral, so he should pay damage
For the 10
to
people.
money.
Well, I feel like, you know, it's like owning up. It's like owning up to, of course, this. And like we said, the families have
Instead of
already
denying.
declined. You know, so
Yeah, I'm not, it doesn't bring them back, but I think it's a sort of yes.
I only feel sorry for him
He's
because
responsible to an extent.
he has lost out so much. Coachella
So
dropped him. He even offered to perform for free.
Damn,
Coachella.
damn.
And they still said no.
No.
I guess we can both agree, or we can all agree that, you know, these kind of sort of actions, of course, have like detriment on your career. So you better be careful what you're thinking of doing out there. Now let's move to our age. Now 21-year-old Odunare Olalekon on December the 14th jumped into a lagoon in Ekpe, Lagos State in an attempt to commit suicide. Now Twitter users have been dropping mixed reactions following that. Now one user at AYFresh14 says, according to the video posted, that instead of trying to save his life, people were making videos. Now he says, they're only making videos, which is a bad habit. You have to save a life before making any nonsense video. Sorry to hear such news. It's saddened. Now, this is a big deal. A lot of times we've seen this from movies to it actually happens real life. People just see the need to pick up their phone and video instead of helping. How do you think we can solve this?
First of all, we are too attached to phone in this generation.
I like how you said we, because you're a
Gen
victim.
Z, millennial, everybody phone, small thing, phone. Why they do you people? But beyond phone, I think it's a very delicate. See, if you had gone close to him 1 inch, you could have pushed him. However, if you didn't bring out your phone to record, you could have had a small conversation with him. Because did you see the video? The guy was at the edge already. You could have said, "Come back," and he'd be like,
It will.
"Who's that?" And he would jump. So,
But I think what the problem is, people are not educated on mental health. They see people who want to take their lives as weak or, you know, unhappy for life. You're going to go to hell. The person who is doing that at that time has reached their limit. They don't care if they go to hell or if you're going to miss them. They're done.
Right.
So if we educated people on mental health and taking care, if jobs, workplaces, families accommodating mental health and give people time. Try and tell an African parent you're depressed. They'll tell you, you know,
Life is hard.
after all I've done for you.
they say, even when I was young, I was depressed. Look at me today.
You know, I think for,
Yeah, but-
I think for me, the truth is, I want to know the intentions behind people who did the video. Was it to share the news? Was it to probably save his life, or just to post?
They didn't know any better.
I think for me, if I was to
spread
end
the
the
video
conversation,
that your family member don't die.
that would definitely be my angle. But unfortunately, they say all good things must come to an end, and this is where we wrap up the show. Remember, of course, you can keep the conversation going wherever you find yourself. We will be back same time next week. Up until then, this is bye for now.